Welcome to Caracomp Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence. So here's something interesting that I think a lot of people get wrong. And honestly, it's one of those assumptions that feels so logical you'd never think to question it. The assumption is this: if a photo of a face is sharp, high-res, and crystal clear, then it must be a real face. That sounds reasonable, right? Except it's completely wrong. A high-resolution deepfake can fool the human eye at near 100% success rates. Let that sink in. The clarity of an image tells you about the quality of the file, not the authenticity of the face in it. And today I want to break down why that distinction matters so much. Think of it this way. If someone handed you a forged contract printed on premium paper in perfect 1200 dpi, it would look incredible. Crisp fonts, clean layout, beautiful printing. But it's still a forgery. Sharpness proves printing quality, not origin. Same thing with faces. Here's the first big point. The world of facial spoofing is way more layered than most people realize. There's actually an international standard, ISO 301073, that classifies spoofing into three escalating threat tiers: printed photographs, 3D masks, and fully synthetic AI-generated faces. Each one defeats different detection layers. If you don't have a framework for understanding which tier you're dealing with, the resolution of the image tells you absolutely nothing. Second point, and this one's really practical. Deepfake detection tools lose significant accuracy when images have been screenshotted, re-uploaded, or compressed through social media platforms. Research from MIT and Stanford confirms this. The subtle artifacts that would normally betray a fake get scrubbed away by JPEG compression. So investigators pulling images from social media or open source intelligence are working with degraded evidence from the start, and they might not even know it. Third, and this is the core technical insight, there's a huge difference between how a face looks on the surface and its actual geometric structure. Euclidean distance analysis measures things like the distance between the eyes, the ratio of nose to chin, jaw angles. These are structural measurements that stay consistent across lighting changes, aging, and minor image quality differences. Surface-level comparison, just eyeballing whether two faces look similar, is easily defeated by good makeup, clever lighting, or a well-rendered synthetic face. Now here's what really flipped my thinking on this. A lot of people still assume deepfakes are obvious because the early ones had visible glitches. Flickering ears, warped hairlines, weird blinking. But current AI-generated faces built with diffusion models have none of those artifacts. They're not patched-up versions of bad fakes. They're constructed from scratch geometrically with no source video to corrupt. They look perfect because they were never real to begin with. And that leads to maybe the most counterintuitive takeaway of all. The cleaner and more pristine a face looks in an image, the more suspicious a trained analyst should actually be. Real surveillance stills, witness phone photos, CCTV captures, they're almost never pristine. A suspiciously perfect face in a suspect image, that's a red flag, not a green light. So let me bring this all together in plain terms. A sharp, clear photo of a face does not mean that face is real. Today's AI-generated faces are so good they fool humans almost every time. The tools investigators rely on lose accuracy when images get compressed or shared on social media. And the only reliable way to verify a face is to measure its underlying bone structure and geometry. Not just look at the surface. The old mental checklist of sharp image, face visible, good lighting, that checklist is completely irrelevant to authenticity. A real checklist includes structural landmark consistency, verifying where the image actually came from, liveness indicators, and analysis that measures geometry over appearance. The bottom line? In a world where fake faces can look more real than real ones, your eyes are no longer a reliable tool. The question isn't whether the image is clear. The question is whether the face was ever actually there. Keep an eye on this space because it's moving fast. Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, Caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.